Milhouse's parents are lost at sea and presumed dead, he stops being the pathetic loser he has always been, so having to be self-sufficient, and becomes more dark and edgy, kind of leaning into the bad boy attitude that all girls want. This change makes him the coolest kid in school, surpassing even Bart's popularity.
Milhouse, call me if you need to talk.
It all starts with the Simpson family outside enjoying a picnic with the Milhouse's family. So it really doesn't sound that fun. Maggie has a bee very close to her, and seeing Marge nervous, Homer asks her to chill.
Back away.
Homer, being his usual stupid, tries to handle the situation, but everything turns absolutely worse, which makes his fat ass look like his wife. So at that point, he just makes his iconic complaint. Milhouse Dad has something to say, who want to share special news at this moment of reunion between two families, and Bart steps forward, believing they're brother and sister, or even conjoined twins separated at birth because they look so much alike. But denying all of Bart's beliefs, they unexpectedly announce their decision to remarry after a period of separation. This news pleases everyone, especially Milhouse. She will stop banging very man of Springfield. Their son sees this reconciliation as an end to his family's anguish and conflicts. They'll finally stop using him as a pawn in their disputes, something his parents quickly reject, leaving the boy in a state somewhere between joy and confusion. Meanwhile, at home, Homer struggles to choose a tie for the wedding, and Marge, irritated by his indecision, suggests he choose one that matches her eyes colour. Marge discovers, to her disdain, that Homer is completely unaware of his wife's eye colour. Homer desperately tries to guess the colour but fails miserably, making Marge even angrier.
See them and tell you, ow, remember.
And she decides to hide her eyes from him until he remembers what colour they are. The wedding ceremony takes place on the beach, and although Homer tries to make Marge laugh, she remains annoyed that he can't remember her eye colour. Reverend Lovejoy performs the ceremony clumsily, unintentionally highlighting all the effects of the couple, specifically Kirk, whose touch repulsed her. But he finally manages to conclude the marriage by rushing the couple to kiss, before more problems occur, like the seagulls eating the wedding meal.
Do not eat! It's made with seagull meat!
After the wedding, Milhouse would spend a week at the Simpson house while his parents enjoyed their honeymoon. And Luann reminds her son that if he doesn't like Marge's cooking, he can eat the ones she made for him.
Your mummy meals.
I got 'em. Why does every kid who stays with us bring money?
During his stay, Milhouse feels extremely happy and hopeful about his parents' reconciliation, eagerly awaiting the next day, which he dreams with a countdown to wake-up time. Meanwhile, on the honeymoon cruise, Kirk has trouble holding Luann in his arms. Since he can't balance himself, the boat's movements cause them to fall into the water. Meanwhile, at the Simpsons house, Milhouse plays with Bart, filling a hole in the yard with a hose. When he pressurizes it with water, many tarantulas emerge right where Lisa was playing Tea Party. Lisa tries to help her doll, but it's in vain because it's full of tarantulas. Milhouse, feeling very happy about the fantastic week he was spending with his friend, accidentally mentions that he doesn't care if his parents don't come back. So, he unexpectedly receives tragic news from the Festival Cruises staff, who reveal that his parents have been lost at sea. With little tact, they inform Milhouse of the seriousness of the situation, which leads the boy to feel guilty for having wished for that to happen.
Drown, monster, drown!
Bart appears with the hose, soaking Milhouse completely, unaware of why everyone was so serious. The news quickly alters the Simpson household, and while they chat with the cruise ship staff, Milhouse tries to raise hope by asking them to search and find his parents.
Have you ever been to the sea? It's huge.
And we have to search all of them, because they all, connect.
Milhouse falls into a deep sadness, and the next day when he wakes up, the stupid ass of Homer tries to cheer him up by offering him products with ocean-related names like Captain Crunch. Marge intervenes to try to lift the boy's spirits, but nothing seems to work. He asks Milhouse not to lose hope, as they might find his parents, and there's always hope. Well, not really, because they let him know that they've stopped searching. Wow. The search for the house parents is officially over, which further deepens the boy's sadness. Bart tries to cheer him up by playing a video game with him, but even this doesn't manage to get him out this deep grief. Sadness leads him to reject everything, even his childhood, which makes him feel the urgent need to grow up and face his new reality. He has to become a man. He only understands this when he sees his pathetic reflection and how he drank milk from a bottle. Milhouse, now assuming his role as a young man without parents, understands that he must take care of himself thanking Maggie for making him see his situation, which she is disgusted and regretting letting that loser drink from her bottle. Meanwhile, Homer continues trying to discover Marge's eye colour to reconcile with her. His ignorance continues to cause amusing conflicts between the two, as when they try to look at wedding photos to find out Marge's eye colour, the album contains a security combination, which was their wedding anniversary date. And of course, his ape brain doesn't remember that either.
Our anniversary.
Go!
Milhouse, in this loner state, surprises all his classmates with his serenity and apparent maturity, making him the most popular student in school. Even Nelson, the school bully, feels unable to make fun of him for his stoic attitude.
Get me up. Maybe then I'll feel something.
Whoa.
Lisa, deeply impressed by the courage and sensitivity that Milhouse demonstrates, begins to see him from a different perspective, admiring him for his unexpected maturity. This wakes jealousy on Bart, as Nelson mentions that he was no longer the coolest kid in school.
Hey, I'm happy to see Milhouse get some hand on him.
At lunch, uncomfortable with this social situation, he desperately tries to regain his popularity, but fails miserably when he asks, like a streetwalker, Ralph to sit next to him.
Young man, you look like you enjoy fun and excitement.
Please, Bart, you're embarrassing yourself.
However, Milhouse becomes even more popular and admired. Upon getting off the school bus, some people try to help Milhouse with company in his difficult situation, but he prefers to take a walk alone, impressing the boys and thrilling the girls.
I want to take a walk alone. Whoa! And work some stuff out.
Bart tries to regain his place as a cool kid, showing off some unique dance moves according to him, but no one pays attention. Upon entering his house, Marge, seeing that no one paid attention to his dancing, asks her son to dance with her. Bart then decides to take matters into his own hands, and realizing that Milhouse just needs a new family to get back to his old pathetic uncool self, he seeks the help of Milhouse's uncle, Norbert Van Houten. Bart manages to contact him after some unsuccessful attempts, and finally, Norbert agrees to come to Springfield to take care of Milhouse, offering him the emotional and family support he needs. At the airport, Bar awaits the arrival of Milhouse's uncle, seeing how many of those losers look like they might be related to Milhouse, when out of nowhere, a small plane grazes Bart's head and lands very roughly, but accurately, revealing Milhouse's Uncle Norbert. Bart can't believe this is Milhouse's uncle, and he reveals that he's a Wooten from another branch of the family, and also from another place. Hearing young Milhouse's search to save him from his loneliness, one of the people Bart thought was Milhouse's uncle approaches them because he was also looking for his nephew.
Let us join forces.
The next day, when Uncle Norbert is introduced by Bart, Milhouse initially resists, claiming that he's learned to fend for himself, but his uncle's affection and warmth finally convince him, and they share a heartfelt embrace that symbolizes new hope for Milhouse. Bart believes that thanks to his intervention, everything will be back to normal, but this makes Milhouse even more popular at school, and he is now seen as mature and admirable, which continues to deeply irritate Bart.
He's troubled, but I can save him.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Homer, meanwhile, remains obsessed with finding Marge's eye colour until he accidentally rediscovers an old song he had written for her.
Hazel! Your eyes are hazel!
As he sings, he remembers how his eyes are hazel, and Marge, moved by the romantic gesture, forgives him immediately, not so much for remembering the colour of his eyes, but for hearing the song he wrote for her a long time ago. Milhouse arrives with his uncle at the Simpsons' house, and although Milhouse forgets to cut off the gas supply and his plane explodes, his uncle and nephew are happy, laughing at what happened.
The what?
In the distance, Milhouse's happiness doesn't please him at all, and he asks Lisa, "Why is this happening?" Bart is worried about losing Milhouse. At first, Bart refuses to believe he has feelings for Milhouse because of their deep friendship, and the thought of losing him brings him to tears. Finally, one school day, Skinner announces that Milhouse is deciding to go to live with his uncle Norbert, and they will travel in a hot air balloon. During their emotional after-bidding farewell, Bar realizes that he really loves Milhouse as his best friend, and runs to catch him before the balloon takes off and reaches a higher altitude. Bart manages to climb into the static balloon, and Uncle Norbert prepares the friends for a trip around the world. Meanwhile, In an unexpected scene, on a remote island where Kirk and Luan miraculously appear alive, they are also ready to take flight with a makeshift craft. And just then, Uncle Norbert appears in Milhouse Bart with a static balloon, interrupting the Van Houten parents' takeoff.
Damn Dutchman!
Milhouse is happily reunited with his parents, realizing that now everything would be the same as before. However, the happiness of the reunion is quickly overshadowed by a comical rivalry between Danish and Dutch relatives. And while Kirk and Uncle Norbert are fighting, the ransom has already been requested over the radio.